In this final episode of Building Sites with Middleman series, we are going to take the site that we've built, this one, and we're going to put it on a server somewhere. I'm going to put it on my server for watchandlearn.com, and I'm going to put it in subdirectory, but you can use whatever kind of server you have. Because as I've said many times before, Middleman generates just pure HTML and images and CSS files, and any kind of server configuration would do. So we are going to be using this Middleman plugin called Middleman Deploy, and I'm going to show you how you can deploy your sites and build them before that to any kind of server you want. So before we can deploy our site, we need to install Middleman Deploy. It's a plugin for Middleman for easily deploying your sites somewhere on some kind of server, somewhere on the web. So I'm just going to copy this gem definition right here, like with any other plugin, and I'm going to paste it right here, so in my gem file. Then you save it, and I'm going to quit out of my Middleman server and run bundle install. Okay, so now this gem Middleman deploy is installed. I'm going to go to my server with SSH. You can use FTP or whatever you want. You don't even have to do it if you're going to put it in the root of your site. But as I'm not going to put it in the root of my site, I have to go to my server. And I'm going to go to www directory. Of course, if you have a kind of different server configuration, this could be public underscore HTML or something like that, or just HTML. It depends on your server configuration. And I'm going to create a directory right here called WL Middleman. Okay, WL Middleman. Right. So we have our subdirectory right here. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my config.rb file, and right here at the end, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this out. So I'm going to be deploying my site via rsync, but you can use FTP if you have just FTP access, or you could use SFTP access. You can use whatever you want. So I'm just going to use this rsync right here, copy it, and just paste it right here. So the deploy method, so this is once more that I have a problem with Middleman documentation. So this won't work because that deploy method doesn't exist. So what you need to do is actually rename this to be deploy that method, just that. I know this because I spent, I don't know, 2 hours when I did my first deploy of my first site, and I had to search all over the internet, and actually that problem is in the issues right here. So you do this deploy that method, not deploy that deploy underscore method. So we're going to be using rsync. The deploy host will be watchlearn.com. In my case, of course. And the deploy path would be, well, let me just go to my Middleman, WL Middleman. So this is my deploy path. Home, watch Leah, www, and so on. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in here. It could be different for you, of course. So this will definitely be different for you. And that should be it, I think. Let's just save it. And now we are ready to deploy our site to the internet. I just now realized that I didn't add my user for the server, so I'm just going to copy this out, deploy user, and just write my username. I don't need a password because I'm using SSH keys, public keys, so I don't need to write my password, but you can do it if you want, if you're doing SFTP or FTP deployment. So I'm just going to save this. If we go to our server right now and do cdwl middleman and do ls, you can see that nothing is in this directory right now. Okay, there is just one more thing we need to do before we get to the actual deployment, and that is to set up so that when we deploy our site, the middleman would build it first. So if we do middleman deploy right now, what it would do, it would take the last build that we did. So the last time that we written the command middleman build, it will deploy that version of the site. So we need to tell the middleman deploy to first build our site and then deploy it to the server. To do that, you have it right here in this documentation. So you just do deploy build before true right here. So when we do middleman deploy, it's first going to build our site and then it's going to deploy it to our server. So I'm just going to go to my terminal and write middleman deploy. As you can see, you will see that it's building right here. First of all, oh, it's not building because I didn't save it, of course. Okay. So I'm just going to quit this out and do it again. Okay, so you see middleman build, and now it's building our files. And now it's deploying them, and it's deploying all of our files. Okay. So if we go to our server right now and do ls here, you can see we have all of our files right here. So my middleman installation is in a subfolder. So what I'm going to do is going to go to watchandlearn.com and wl middleman. And as you can see, the site isn't working very well. So for you, if you're deploying this to the root of your server, this will probably will work just fine. But as I am deploying this to a subfolder, what I need to do is tell middleman that I'm going to use some kind of a prefix for my site. So as it's going to be in the subfolder, I'm just going to set this http prefix to wl middleman. So as you can see, all the HTML is here, but the links don't work. So as you can see, the links don't work, and also it doesn't load any of our JavaScript or CSS, because if we look at the source right here, it's using this absolute link right here, so it's not loading anything. So what we need to do is just add a prefix to our middleman setup, so that this would be wl middleman and then style sheet style.css and javascript.all.gss. Okay, so I'm going to save this now and run middleman deploy again. As you can see, it updated most of our files, and that's it. So if I go right here and refresh it, it works now. Okay, let's try to go to another article. So this is a second video article. If we go back, we can click read more. We can click on our tags and we get our list of tags and so on. So as you can see, this works now. And this is the easiest way that you can deploy and build your site and deploy it to the server. Also, let me just show you this right here. So if you're not going to use rsync, you can use FTP. So you would just copy this out and you would write your username and your password and all of your other FTP settings, and also you can use SFTP, so don't forget that. Okay, so this is it for deploying this Middleman site. And also this is it for the building sites with Middleman series. Next thing we are going to be doing on this site or on this channel is going to be Drupal 8 theming. So Drupal 8 came out recently, actually release candidates came out, and I'm looking forward to dive into the Drupal theming. It's, as I understand it, it's much different than in Drupal 7. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you like this series. I hope you will be using Middleman for your next site. Check out the rest of the videos in the series. If you like them, please like them, or please subscribe to my channel if you want. Also like my Facebook page, or you can just follow me on Twitter to be up to date with these videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.